Hello everyone, my name is John Bussard. I'm an HPE Business Transformation Center engineer for Ingram Micro. I help support servers, blade systems, storage, as well as networking technology solutions from HPE. In my videos, what I like to do is show you a slide from a popular PowerPoint and then demonstrate to you what that means within a management interface. Today, we're going to continue on our discussion with HPE's Aruba Instant On series of SMB solutions. In the past, this has really meant a wireless-based solution, but with the introduction of the 1930 series of switches, we have both unified management of wired as well as wireless traffic within an environment. Now, the solution I'm going to be talking about today is the cloud-based solution. Now, this can be managed from the cloud or locally, and you choose one or the other at the time of deployment. Right, but today we're going to be looking at the cloud-based management. And when I say cloud, I'm talking about the web-based portal. And again, there's no subscription for using the cloud-based portal. Or I'm talking about an application that you install on either your iOS or Android phone from their respective stores. So this solution is meant to be simple and easy to use for people who have really no or little IT experience. And so with all that being said, let's explore this management interface. Okay, so we're looking at our solution here. So I currently have an access point already deployed. We can see that I have one device over here and one wireless network. Right, I'm also, and this is the web-based portal up here. Right, I'm also screencasting my phone over here. As you can see, as I make changes in one, we'll see it on the other interface and vice versa. Right, so right now, how this is configured, if I go into wireless networks over here, you'll see I've got one wireless network. It's an employee-based network or production-based network here. If I go back, right, we will see I've got one device already set up here, and it happens to be an AP15. Right, so AP15 access point. So I already have a site kind of created. If you're new to the Instant On series of products, you're going to need to create a site, but that's pretty simple to do. All you do is go up here and then click set up a new site. And it's going to ask you a few questions about how you're setting this up. But more importantly, it's going to ask you about your serial number of your device. And then you'll be able to set up a site and you'll be able to roll on through. So with this deployment, we're going to deploy both a 1930 series switch as well as in the switch I have plugged in an AP11D, and I've chosen the AP11D because on the bottom of this access point we have a few extra switch ports on it. We can also configure those as well as a part of this solution. So with all that being said, let's kind of take a look at this deployment. First, before we go through and we add an extra device in, let's go take a look at the IP address of the switch. I kind of fished it through the DHCP server, and I've plugged it into a web browser up here. So let's go take a look. All right, you can see we've kind of got the fork in the road over here. It's telling us to either manage it through the applications, through the respective stores, or through the portal, or we can connect the local management. Again, it's an either or solution. You're either going to manage it through these cloud-based tools, or you're going to manage it locally. It's not that you say you can't go either or, you're just going to wipe away your configuration in order to convert it on over. All right, and we'll come back and look at this after I deploy it and see how this has changed. Go back over here, we'll go back to the root, and why don't we do this deployment from the cell phone here. So we'll go over here. I'm going to select on devices. I'm going to click the plus sign down here. All right, and then we're going to search for our device. And you can see we have this AP11D. If I scroll over, you can see we have a 1930 24G PoE plus 4 SFP switch here. So I'm going to go down here and click Add Devices. And we'll go through the process of deploying. In a little bit, we'll see my inventory change here, as well as a finished setup over here. All right, so we got 3 devices over here. And then we've got the finish over here. So I'm going to click Finish. And you can see now we have the new access point as well as the new switch here. All right, and we could also look at that inventory here as well. Now, one of the things to notice is not only do we have one wireless network, but we also have a wired network here as well. We can also see this through the mobile app. Right, so we have a wireless as well as a wired network. Right, and we can click on this and we'll see, here's that wireless network we have set up, but we also have a wired network, a default wired network, and it's set up for VLAN 1, so the native VLAN, right? And we can also see that over here as well. Now, if we go and look back into the web page, again, this is where I fished out the DHCP server, right? We can see that this has changed, and now it's a static page, which just pretty much gives me kind of a read status, gives me what software is loaded up, the IP address, and things like that, what VLAN it's kind of sitting on. Okay. All right, so let's go back over here and let's look at the configuration of the switch itself. So I'll click down here. Right, and here's my switch again. I'm going to expand this out, and we can see its basic configuration. All right, and over on the top, we have some other information we can scroll on through, including ports. I'm going to bring this up also on the phone. So I'm going to back up here down here. I'm going to click devices. I'm going to select the switch, and then I'm going to scroll down. And we can see these ports. So let's describe what we're seeing here. So this in port 1 here, we've got a little cloud icon. You can see that over here as well. This is my connection to the cloud. Right? This is where all the information is to be supported within the portal up here. Right? Down below, I have a little lightning bolt, right, in port 2. This is where my access point is plugged in. So this little lightning bolt kind of signifies that I'm pushing PoE through this port, or power over Ethernet. And finally, I have this port right here, right? Again, port 3. And I have a device connected into that. I actually have a workstation plugged into that. And I am connected to that workstation from over here. And with all that, I'm actually connected already. So we can click and I'll open up a command prompt. And we can do an IP config. And we can see that we're on the network. Right? And this actually is the DHCP server pushing out this address here. Okay, so there are different configurations I can do at this point if you want to do something a little bit more advanced. But for a basic, person who doesn't know a lot about switching technology, this gets them up and rolling. If you want to do something a little bit more advanced, for example, I could do things like link aggregation, and that's grouping together a couple ports to create a bigger pipe into my upstream network. Right, so these are the 10 gig ports over here. So maybe I want to do a link aggregation on these ports. So I'm going to select link aggregation. I'm going to click Add Link Aggregation. I'm going to select these 2 ports. I'm going to give it a name. Right? And then I'm going to click Save. All right, and we've got that. Now I could have configured other things as far as what type of traffic I'm going to pass through it. And we're going to tinker with this in a little bit. All right, I don't have anything plugged into these ports. I'm just kind of showing you how this is done. So something else you want to do at a little bit more than just a rudimentary level is maybe setting VLANs on ports if you wanted to. So maybe I want to put this workstation here on a different VLAN. I certainly have the ability to be able to do that. All right, so we go back to the main page and the phone again maybe. So I'll back up. I'll back up again. Right. All right, and we'll select networks. All right, you can see that we have this one native VLAN as well as my one wireless network. So I'm going to click down here, the plus sign. And you can see now that we have tabs for both wired as well as wireless. If you remember through the wireless side, if I click on that, I have the ability to do a guest or an employee network. All right, I can customize my guest portal if I wanted to. Right, there's a whole variety of options. Right, on the wired side, right, again, we'll go in here and we'll select wired. I get to select the network name. And just for a simplistic nature of following this demonstration, I'm going to call this VLAN 87. Right? Certainly, I could call that anything I felt like it, but again, it'll make a little bit of sense as we kind of go through this. And then I'm going to tag this VLAN to VLAN 87. And then I'm going to click Done up here. All right, now I've created that wired network right here. It's related to that VLAN. So now I can assign that to ports. All right, so for example, let's go back. Let's go over to the switch here. All right, this right here is the switch. All right, and then I could scroll down. All right, and I could select port 3. All right, and then I could select port details down here. All right, and I could specify a network. All right, and then we can see the default right there. But if I select the down box, you can see I could select VLAN 87 if I wanted to, and then we could click OK. All right, and then I'm going to click Done on the top. All right, and this will have been saved. All right, and of course I could see all this configuration, from here as well. I wanted to dig in. All right, select this port. And we'll see that configuration down here. So now let's go take a look at the PC, see if the address has changed. So I'll do an ipconfig release, and then we'll do a renew. And we can see our IP address has changed. These last 2 octets have changed as compared to up here. So we're on 80.87, and now we are on 87.132. So I had the ability to make that adjustment. Right, I did that on a switch port, but again, the access point I introduced also had ports on it as well. That's why I chose that. So if I go under inventory, and then I select this access point up here, but we've got ports, and I have a few ports on the bottom of this access point. I could select something like this port, then specify a network, and again, I could plug that into VLAN 87, click Save, and that port will be assigned to that. All right, so that's managing switch ports through the Aruba Instant On cloud-based applications. Again, we showed you both the portal.arubanetworks.com as well as the mobile applications. I hope you found this video informative, and please stay tuned for more videos.